Okay, Paul, we will look back at Bolton, if you wouldn't mind. How do you assess that a week on?
A good point. A good point. Away from home, I think we've had a very different form away from home than we have at home. So to get a point was to stop a rot of consecutive losses, which has been disappointing because I'm sure, as our supporters will say, you know, there's been games at the likes of Norwich, a late penalty, Millwall where we miss a penalty to go 1-2-0 up, 64 minutes. Aston Villa away where we're deep into stoppage time. There's been plenty of occasions where we felt we could have picked points up, but we haven't. So to take that little step again away from home was good. We knew it would be a difficult game with all the publicity and the press that Bolton are getting for the wrong reasons. We knew that would give a galvanising effect on their team for sure, you know, because that's what them situations can do. No Phil Parkinson team ever rolls over, ever. You know, they come with a spirit and a determination through Phil's character and his qualities as a manager. So a derby match as well. And looking back, we had enough chances to win the game. I genuinely felt we were the better team on the day, if you like. I felt that, but unfortunately couldn't see it home, so we take a point.
Yeah, and now we talk about the quirk of statistics, but now you've got an unbeaten run now, and it's not so long ago you look back and people were saying, "Oh, we haven't won for so long." It's
football. I try my best to separate myself from a lot of the stuff that goes on in the modern game. The modern game through social media, journalists, pundits. They just can't wait to heap pressure on clubs, managers, etc. It's not right. You know, historically, football clubs go periods of time without winning games. If you're a team in a division, for example, the big division above us at the minute, Southamptons and Burnleys, they're big clubs in the wrong end of the table, and it's only time that'll see them clubs come out of that. You know, you can't come out of it that week. You can't come out of it the next game. You know, it's about training grounds and working, and we know we're in a tough league. No bigger game than tomorrow. It's everything that we wanted to happen to us last season. If you look at the fixture list from League One and then look at the fixture list from the Championship, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to learn you're in different waters, and we're certainly swimming in different waters now.
Can you give us an injury update? There's a suggestion that Nick Powell might be out for a while with his hamstring problem.
Yeah, Nick will be out for a period of time now. He won't play over Christmas for sure. You know, and we'll probably assess that situation after that. Again, I can rest assured to all our fans, supporters, etc. Nick's never been asked to go on a football pitch for us injured. It's not something to do as a manager. I don't ask players to, you know, give it a go, see how it is. I don't do that. You know, our players have to come through medical stuff that sees them fit to train the day before and to go on the pitch to play. So there's no case ever of Nick being asked to play. It's probably been a build-up of different stuff for him that's seen him have the hamstring injury that he's got. That'll see him out for a period of time, and it's something that we have to adapt to.
Will it require surgery, or is it just a rest?
No. I think I've got to be careful. I'm not trying to put Nick in trouble, because I'm not. I was just about to say it's a perfectly timed rest, but I didn't mean it like that. So Nick Powell, if you do watch, I didn't mean it like that. I just mean listen, Nick's been outstanding for us. He's had a historical problem with injuries, and we've been able to manage that as a club. The medical guys really well for 18 months. We're disappointed that he's had a little breakdown, but that's what it is. He'll be back stronger and fitter from it.
Looking forward to Derby then, another big game. How do you kind of assess Frank Lampard's kind of first foray into management?
Needs to stop going to places like Man United and winning and stuff like that, doesn't he? I think he's embraced it fantastically well. He's managed to bring a support staff around him that he obviously knows and trusts. Within that, they've got a style of play that for me is very good. Within the style of play, they've got a lot of very good players. You know, they can hurt you. You know, they have a youthfulness about the team that I like. I think it's good. I think they're as successful away from home as they are at home. I think it's everything we wanted out the division. It's going to come to our stadium tomorrow. We're going to play a top quality team. Frank's adapting to management so well. He conducts himself as he always has done throughout his football career with total class. And we've got our hands full tomorrow, but it's a game we relish. You know, we've got a good record at the DW. It's a lovely place to play. There's no sort of intimidating factors about the stadium. It's a lovely pitch. And I'm sure tomorrow people will see a really good game.
What was the kind of, I mean, he's obviously new into management. What was the kind of, who were the people you listened to when you were starting out in management, and what was the kind of the most important thing you learned first up in your kind of management career?
Oh, it's a good question. It's all about the game tomorrow. You're killing me here with this one, aren't you? I think, you know, for me, I obviously had a football career, you know, and over that period of time, you'll play for managers and people. You know, obviously, I'm sure for Frank, the same as myself, our fathers are very important in our lives, just through watching us and mentoring us and speaking to us. And so you've come across a lot of different managers, a lot of different players, you know, personal friends. You know, then you'll have a love of football yourself. You know, Frank done a little bit of punditry, didn't he, and stuff like that. So we'll have seen all them guys sitting in the studios giving us all stick that seem to know it all. And he looks like, similar to Steven Gerrard, they're going to go on and have really fantastic careers as managers, and it's great for English football. It's great to see.
And what different challenges have you faced personally going up as you've stepped up through the divisions, and what kind of is the biggest challenge you think now you've kind of stepped up into the championship, apart from the kind of the quality of the teams?
I think all the clubs are different for managers. You know, I've been very lucky to be given opportunities to manage, but you know, managing football clubs can be a challenge depending on when you take over that club. Do you know, if you look at Wigan Athletic, for example, when I was lucky enough to get the job last year, in League One we are a very powerful club. So the timing of your arrival at the club can be seen, in my opinion, as good. You're working with a calibre of player that's very heavy in that league. If you were to take over Wigan this year when we managed to be third in the championship, then good luck with that one. You're in serious trouble. I'm only joking. Are you with me? So timing of jobs is important, you know. Yeah. I look back on my own career, and you know, one of the things I do like looking back on is the fact that I don't look back. I don't think it's right that you look back. I think you must keep looking forward, and one day will come in the future when you'll sit down and go, that's what my career done. You know, at the minute I'm enjoying my job here. I love my job here. It's challenging. It really is challenging. We go away from home, and some of the stadiums, the calibre of manager that we're taking on, you know, is huge. You know, it's the clubs, it's the challenge, and then you have your own squad. You know, and to see at the minute Cal Naismith and Gary Roberts playing in our team regular, doing really well in my opinion. The Reece James emerging on his first loan, you know, the tried and trusted ones that we've seen all along, Sammy Morsey, Dan Burns, all our lads, Michael Jacobs starting the season scoring goals, Griggy back playing. It's within it all, it's challenging, and you know, I think you should always enjoy the club you're at, especially while you're at it.
I was going to ask you about Reece James, his third Player of the Month award within the club. What does that show about how he's developed in the last few months?
He's good.
Apart from that,
he's good. He's very good. I think it's you know, again, and we always go on, it's a repetitive message about lads like Reece. You know, it's not how good a player he is, it's how good a lad he is. I say it all the time, if all 18-year-old lads conducted themselves like Reece James, there'd be a lot more top players, because we have the talent in England. Make no bones about it, our younger teams, our academies, they have the talent, but something sadly goes amiss with our players. In my opinion, I don't think you'd have to look too far from agents and finance to realise what that is. We take the hunger out of our players far too early. Reece James doesn't lack hunger. He's at a top club in Chelsea, he's an international footballer, he's got the world at his feet, but he trains every day like it's the last, and that's so important for young players.
Because of his success, there's no threat that he might be recalled by Chelsea in January. Is that in his loan agreement, or are you happy that you're going to be able to keep him all year?
We're dead happy with Reece's progression. I think we're trying to form relationships with the bigger clubs because they do have the better players. I think Chelsea, to date, as we know, are delighted with how we're treating Reece and how the loan's going, and hopefully we can see that relationship build if we can play a very small part in future players going on and being successful at their parent clubs. I think that's huge, because as a club it says that we're doing something right. I think there's a lot goes into the loans with players now. It's not just what you see on a Saturday, it's where they live, their accommodation, how they're treated, etc. So Reece has been a real good one for us, and hopefully Chelsea will see that, and maybe one day they might give us one or two more.